Start with the finished picture. This AnythingLLM setup is not another vague AI tools list. The outcome is a practical workflow someone can copy. The viewer should see the shape first: workspace, documents, local model, then agent actions. In this video, I am going source first, then setup first. I will show what the stack is supposed to do, which official pages support it, what commands matter, and where the honest limits are. The promise is simple. If this belongs in your local AI workflow, you will know by the end without pretending the hard parts are magic. The finished result should look like a workspace, not a pile of scripts. The viewer needs to understand where documents live, where the model is chosen, and where agent behavior begins. This is not just another chat box. AnythingLLM packages workspaces, document chat, model choices, and agent features into one local-friendly app. The reason this beat matters is that the viewer needs a mental model before the commands. For AnythingLLM, the setup is only useful if you understand what each layer owns, what output proves success, and what failure looks like. That is why the video keeps coming back to source pages, repo facts, and a visible workflow instead of just racing through install commands. AnythingLLM is interesting because it compresses several local AI choices into one app surface. That is useful for beginners who do not want to wire up every RG component by hand. Before touching the setup, I checked the official sources. Minplex Labs/AnythingLLM has 59,295 GitHub stars and license MIT. The sources used for this video are the GitHub repos, the official site or docs, and the runtime pages linked in the description. This matters because YouTube setup videos often repeat stale commands or marketing claims. I am treating GitHub facts, docs commands, and documented provider support as the proof layer, not random blog summaries. The official repo and site describe the product as an all-in-one AI app. That framing matters. I am treating it as a workspace and agent product, not just another retrieval demo. Here is the setup path I would actually follow. The important commands are: install AnythingLLM desktop or Docker, start Ollama locally, select Ollama as chat model provider, create workspace, upload docs, ask known-answer questions. Do not read this as a magic paste block. Read it as the sequence. First, create the environment. Then install the tool. Then run the smallest possible proof. Only after that do you scale up to real data, real documents, or a real model workflow. The setup sequence should be boring on purpose. Install the app, start or select a model provider, create one workspace, upload known documents, and ask questions with known answers. Fancy comes after that. The workspace is the product primitive. Ingest docs, choose the model, ask known answer questions, then inspect citations or actions. The reason this beat matters is that the viewer needs a mental model before the commands. For AnythingLLM, the setup is only useful if you understand what each layer owns, what output proves success, and what failure looks like. That is why the video keeps coming back to source pages, repo facts, and a visible workflow instead of just racing through install commands. The workspace is the key primitive. If the workspace can hold context, answer from documents, and keep model settings understandable, the product is already useful before advanced agents enter the picture. Tools turn chat into action. The setup becomes more interesting when the assistant can call tools instead of only summarizing text. The reason this beat matters is that the viewer needs a mental model before the commands. For AnythingLLM, the setup is only useful if you understand what each layer owns, what output proves success, and what failure looks like. That is why the video keeps coming back to source pages, repo facts, and a visible workflow instead of just racing through install commands. Agents should be introduced only after the base retrieval works. Tools and actions are powerful, but they hide failure. First, prove the app can answer from your files. Then add actions. The trap with AnythingLLM is overclaiming. This video is about a no-code local workspace and agents, not another document database walkthrough. A clean demo can still fail in production if the input data is bad, the hardware is too weak, the model license is wrong, or the output is not evaluated. So the honest rule is, prove the path with a small example, keep the proof visible, then decide if the workflow deserves more time. The repeat risk is real because the channel already covered RG products. The packaging has to focus on local workspaces and agents, not another generic upload docs and chat video. The verdict: AnythingLLM is one of the easiest topics to package for viewers who want private AI without building everything. This is a strong TechWealth topic because it solves a real workflow problem, not just a curiosity problem. If you want the fastest useful takeaway, build the smallest version first, verify the output, then decide whether to deepen the setup. The sources are linked below, and the next video in this batch keeps the same standard: source checked, setup first, no fake proof. The verdict is simple. AnythingLLM is for people who want a private AI workbench faster than they want a custom architecture diagram. That is a different promise than RAG Flow or Diffie.